Wonder where Joe's got to. He should be here by now.
Hi, Grandad. Sorry I'm late, I had a puncture.
Well, come in and sit down and tell me what you've been up to. How's school?
It's okay, it's a bit boring.
Well, we've all had to do it. How about that football?
I play when I get time, but our team's not very good. We lost 4-0 last week.
When I was young, the important thing was taking part. How about that computer of yours?
Oh, it's good. I've just bought some new memory and a new car for games.
I don't know what you get up to on those things.
Well, how did you spend your free time, Grandad?
When I was your age, the war was just starting. I was hardly any older than you when I was called up.
I play war games on my computer. The software's really cool.
Not the same as the real thing.
What did you do in the war, Grandad?
I did my bit. We all had to. It lasted 6 years, you know, and it spread through Europe and Africa and the Far East. The worst was 1940. Dunkirk, being pinned down on the beaches by the bombs and shells. It all turned in 43, though. That was when our boys began to win in North Africa and Italy. Then, D-Day in 44 brought us back to Europe. But over the water, it was more than another year before it was all finished off. It didn't really stop until the Japs gave up in 45.
Mum says you were wounded.
I bust my leg, but a lot of my pals came off much worse.
What was the worst part of the war?
Hand-to-hand fighting. If you couldn't get them with the rifle, then you had to go in closer. Grenades first. And if that didn't work, it was the knife. Slice of cake, Joe. Jam sponge.
Thanks, Grandad. Were you scared?
Everyone was scared in the war, whatever they tell you. I got into some tight spots and I was scared.
Was it all worth it in the end, Grandad?
We helped each other. And we tried to win the war.
And you did, didn't you?
We all did our bit, we had to.
Well, I better go. I promised Ma I wouldn't be home too late tonight. Where's your shopping list?
Okay. Take care. I don't want any accidents on my conscience.
Bye, Grandad. I'll be fine. See you tomorrow, Grandad.
How could I tell him what really happened? I should have come clean. But how could I? It's a very sore point. Still in one piece, Joe. Come in.
How are you today, Grandad? Is your leg playing up?
Not too bad, Joe. Not too bad. Grab yourself a Coke. A 2-ounce bar of this was all kids had to get by for a week in the war. And as for these, we never saw them at all.
So, you were telling me about the war, Grandad.
Want to hear more? Well, there was the Russian front. It was bitterly cold, and the troops were
Mum said you were a Bevan boy, but I was not to mention it.
No need to talk about that.
Well, what regiment was it?
Not exactly a regiment.
What then?
OK, if you want to know, the Bevan boys worked down the coal mines.
So, you didn't go to war and do any fighting? That seems like the easy way out, Grandad. What did your mates think of you?
We weren't given the choice. We were called up according to our army numbers. Lots of us wanted to join up, but we either had to go down the mines or else go to prison. We weren't very happy about it. And it's difficult not to feel a bit shamefaced. We felt we were letting our pals down.
That doesn't seem very fair, Grandad.
It wasn't a doddle down the mines, I can tell you. We certainly found out what life was like down there. You could be thousands of feet down and up to 3 miles under the sea. That's where I got my leg injury. Trapped between 2 coal trucks. It was pitch black down there, and the air was rough, and the water would seep and rot our boots. We put sack round the boots to stop the rot. I don't know how the miners that worked down there since they left school managed to stick it. Up above ground, we were questioned and stopped by the police. They thought we were deserters.
Why did they send you down there? Surely they needed all the soldiers they could get.
The factories depended on coal. It was vital to the war effort, so it was a case of no coal, no factories, no weapons.
Well, I still think you were very brave, Grandad. I'd have been too scared to go down a mine. You deserve a medal for it.
Thanks, Joe. I wish others appreciated our efforts, or even knew about them. Somehow we seem to have been forgotten.
Must go, Grandad. Thank you for telling me all about it. Don't get up. I'll see myself out.
What a letdown for the boy. I bet I've gone down a few pegs in his estimation. I suppose I'll feel guilty till they carry me out in a box. That's made me feel right fed up now. Better go and get the kettle on. Maybe it's time for something stronger. In 1943 there was a desperate shortage of miners. Around 48,000 Bevan boys were conscripted by lottery, 10% of 18 to 25-year-old recruits. It took 50 years for official recognition. A commemorative badge is due to be awarded in 2008, 60 years after demobilisation of the last Bevan boy.